Leadership is about choices.
This is the story of one of the most important yet controversial policies in Ghana's history.
I have chosen to invest in the future of our youth and our country.
Years before its implementation, it will dominate political campaigns.
Free SHS. Free SHS.
They say they started free SHS.
No review today, no review tomorrow.
More than 3 million lives touched in 8 years.
It have given me a second chance.
If we were to be paying, some wouldn't be able to come to school this year.
Yet, its challenges threaten its very existence.
We have no food and there's stores.
Today, it's like our hands are tied behind us and slapped you and they say, don't cry.
We stay more at home than in the school.
When they go home to spend that 4 months in the house, some of them report to school and they are already married.
Some say education in Ghana, like a ticking time bomb, has always had its problems and waiting to explode.
The number of tables and chairs are less than 1,000. Where do the rest sit?
But the problems of free SHS may well be a tip of the iceberg of troubles fighting education in Ghana and will soon bring things to a tipping point.
The very moment you ask people to pay, you have cancelled it.
What is the truth about Ghana's free SHS program? Ghana has more than 900 senior high schools. For a film like this, it is impossible to show all of them. I have spent the last 1 month visiting and documenting at least 10 schools in the north, middle, and southern belts of the country. I've chosen the schools to be represented in this program from category A, B, and C. Our story starts with Abdul Rahman Yakub in the small town of Champion. It's in the northern region.
There is only 2 teachers in Champion, and then they are not always staying in Champion. Like if it happens that we all proceed to be when we made different courses, like we will come back and then change the background of Champion.
Yakub is one of the lucky few out of Champion. In 2023, he completed a Northern Business SHS located in Tamale.
I feel so happy because like if my parents was to do all that is, like it won't be easy for them to, or it won't be easy for myself because they will have paid the fees and then provide me food stuff, books, provide me money to even spend for myself. So by the take of the fees, I feel so happy for that.
But like many, his story also sheds a light on the challenges the free SHS program faces.
Free education at the secondary level, anytime you remove the barrier of finance and infrastructure, you are able to improve enrollment. So ideally, the policy would be able to achieve the access variable that they wanted to achieve.
The free senior high school program is a good one because I believe these numbers that we have is as a result of the free senior high school because a lot of people are given the opportunity to go to school. Given the opportunity in the sense that if the mode of admission into senior high school this time is not based seriously on the grade.
3.5 million young Ghanaians have gone through the senior high school program between 2017 and 2024. We start from Tamale, the northern regional capital. It's the dead of the night. This is the girls' dormitory of the Islamic Senior High School. The dormitory was originally built for around 500 people. It was already stretched beyond its capacity. Before 2017, the school had a student population of less than 2,000. Now, the numbers have crossed 5,000. The infrastructure here hasn't grown to match the numbers. The result, more than a third of the students sleep outside, in the open, at the mercy of mosquitoes and the weather.
We sleep, you can get about 70 going thereabouts in a room. And the weather too is not good for us, especially as we are in the heat. You can't even sleep. It's not easy for us. You get bed bugs, mosquitoes and all that. It's not easy.
We have 16 rooms. So, and there are over 3,000 girls in the dormitory. So these 16 rooms are accommodating the over 3,000 students now. So if you divide yourself, how are over 3,000 divided by 16 will be what each room in that particular building will contain. It's difficult. We don't use bed self. Very few beds will enter and the rest will sleep on the floor. Many of them ran to town to sleep. Secretly, we will not be aware.
Reality. Yes?
The numbers are having their toll on the school.
Clap for her.
The average class size is recommended to be 45 for effective teaching and learning. In this school, some classes have up to 120 students.
We have about 42 classrooms in the entire school. So if at average class, averagely if we would have wished that we pick 40 students in each class. 40 multiplied by 42 would be the best limit that we can take if we actually want to. But because of the pressure on us, in this particular class we have 117 students in one particular class.
One of the things that have impacted academic work here is the government's decision to remove teachers from what was previously the Parents-Teachers Association.
Previously, PTA used to build dormitories, build classrooms, and build whatever, help in the school management. But this time, majority of our parents don't see it that way.
In 2018, only a year into the implementation of the free senior high school policy, the cracks would begin to show. The numbers were overwhelming, and already under pressure schools could no longer cope. The government then adopted the double-track system.
The topics that we needed to cover within the semester, I've told you, even the first semester, half of it hasn't been done. Less than 4 weeks, and I teach 60 minutes a week. So I've met them twice within the whole semester. Sometimes there are certain things we do not pay attention to, which also affects our engagement level with the student, the academic learning time. Most of my lessons come immediately after first break. You know, these children, they have to even spend 20 minutes immediately after break. So sometimes you go to their class, they are not organized.
It's Friday, February 10, 2025. All SHS 1 students are going home. They came to school in the first week of January. After spending barely 6 weeks in school, they have to be home. They have to leave for others to come in.
As they are going, we are told to be coming back in May. Barely 4 to 5 months they are staying at home. And these are students, even when they come back, trust me, nothing will be in their head again. Because a lot of them go home and they go and sit down without engaging themselves in remedial classes.
When they go home to spend that 4 months in the house, some of them report to school and they are already married. So sometimes when we vacate and we go home and we reopen school and we are coming, a good number of them don't come back. And it's either of dropouts or they are pregnant or they have marital issues in the house, so they are unable to come back to school again.
We stay in the house more than the way we do in school, because we can spend like 2 months and half days in the house, and then we spend like 2 months, exactly 2 months, or with a week in the school here. So to my experience and to my noticing, I believe the home, we stay more at home than in the school.
Cape Coast is home to some of the elite secondary schools in Ghana. The hype that some of the best schools receive here means the reality in many of the city's other schools gets swept under the carpet. Inside the University of Cape Coast is the University Practice SHS. It's one of the 27 senior high schools in this region.
As we speak, students are writing on their laps. University Practice Senior High School, students are writing on their laps. I wrote a letter to the minister. Here is my letter. 3rd April 2024. Here. These are the pictures I sent to the minister of the situation in the classroom. Look at it. Someone will think that we stage it. But I go there, it is still there. This is a dormitory situation. The students are prepped. You can take a look at it. This is a letter I wrote. Have I received a reply?
Charles Ejapon Boama has been headmaster here since 2018. He says the school has been in crisis for more than 5 years. Many of the children in the school have no desks to study. Many of those in boarding school have no beds to sleep on. And lack of classrooms make teaching and learning tough.
Yes, we've given access to people, which to me is the best thing we can ever do, because the rest, where would they have gone? Should they stay somewhere? I mean, we are also Ghanaians. So we've given access to, but access to what facility? So far as I'm concerned. You talk of access, yes, they have come. We have increased the population, they have come. To what facility? You go to my dormitory right now. The girls alone is more than 1,300 in boarding house. Plus even the boys' dormitory, the number of beds, 300 and I think 15 or so. If we take it from that of the total number of girls alone, where do the rest sleep? Do you understand me?
It is different from a reward. Yes.
If you go to the classrooms itself, the number of tables and chairs are less than 1,000. Where do the rest sit? I've gone to the class, one of the classrooms last semester. I entered one class, I wept. I met a girl sitting on the floor. There were no seats, and the girl was sitting on the floor. Father, I wept. Lifted the girl to my chest, and I apologized to her that I didn't bring you here to this.
In 2021, after months of complaining and writing reports to the regional and national headquarters of the Ghana Education Service, he says he was threatened with a dismissal.
The PA came that they found out that the students don't have beds. They wanted to, as it were, buy beds for their children. The following week, I was sent to headquarters. I saw my dismissal letter that I was asking parents to buy beds. I didn't ask parents to buy beds. The parents wanted to buy beds. The then Deputy Director General wanted to sack me. More than 1 hour. He was insulting me. I was disappointed that he would not even allow you to explain the circumstances in which the thing came about. And he was talking giddy like that and throwing tantrums up and down. So I just sat down looking at him. That was the most humiliating day in my life as a teacher. Because I don't understand why I should be humiliated worse than a human being just because someone took a decision to help his own child. Meanwhile, from that day, the child is still sleeping on the floor. Do you care? If you do so, it doesn't mean you care more than I do. The child is sleeping on the floor. The parents say, I want to buy a bed for that child to sleep on. You say, no, the headmaster should come and answer. As you threaten me. And the child continues to do that to us who love the child.
Boame's story is the story of several head teachers who have tried to speak up across the country.
Then some of them will come and join the aged population.
Many of the head teachers that I have met traveling on this journey, pleading anonymity, said when they have attempted to expose some of the dire conditions in their schools, they have been threatened and some transferred to other schools. In the Ashanti region, we visited the St. Louis SHS and T.I. Ahmadiyya SHS. St. Louis is one of the region's top girls-only schools, and T.I. Ahmadiyya, one of its most heavily populated, with a student population of more than 5,000 currently.
We have more students than facilities can take care of. So as I speak to you now, we have some of the students who have to put their mattresses on the floor to sleep on. Yeah, they are boarders, but the space is not there to even put the beds. So what we do is that, I don't know whether you noticed it, on some of the verandas of the dormitories, you saw some boxes and suitcases on the veranda. Yes, they have to bring them out so that you can have space for few students who don't have beds to put their mattresses there to lie on.
It's unfortunate that our food is not enough. As said, I have told you earlier, we have no food at the stores. And the master is in Accra now, fighting for food for our own benefit. And we promise you very soon there will be enough food for us so that we can all enjoy ourselves. Thank you.
Suppliers were bringing our food, but for one reason or the other, the food stuffs may not be forthcoming. And when it happens and the students are in school, they have to eat. And the food is not coming, so what do? You have to find whatever means possible to feed them. So you buy on credit, and if you have your own money that you can spare, you use it to buy food for the students and all that. So these are main challenges as far as food issue was concerned.
Before 2017, even though we had numbers, but after 2017 to present, the numbers keep going on high. All because of free SHS, because of the policy and the government's view and support for other people to find themselves in where they wish to have their education. Our numbers every year go up.
Contact hours for teaching and learning has been badly affected by the unstable calendar run by the GES for the free SHS program. So much so that in several of the schools we've been to, teachers have barely been able to cover even half of their syllabus before the school term ends.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. So if you look at the whole 3 years, it means that teacher would not be able to cover the 3-year activities. Yes. Now we carry forward.
On this journey, we have spoken with dozens of parents whose children have gone through the free SHS program. We were told of the stifling of dissent from PTAs, concerns with quality of output, among others. Gabson Kofi Raphael is the General Secretary for the National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations, the umbrella body of PTAs in Ghana.
The PTAs went nosedive because the government said it in 2018, but post-COVID, the government came out fighting PTAs, changing the PTA, trying to create the impression that nothing should happen in the schools, no parent should contribute anything. So for some time now, PTA intervention in the schools have become the bread and butter issues, but not so much about infrastructure, not so much about this. It's about, survival, and to the extent that it's shy, but I have to say it. The PTA's funds, it got to a point that it's even being used to support examination malpractices. Because the heads will come and tell you that, Master, we've gone to sign a performance agreement contract that we need to deliver 100%. So whatever kwakwa means we have to do for the children to pass, we'll do it for them to pass. And people were cashing in and doing all kinds of things. And who dare you say you are coming forefront to fight that thing? You are seen as a persona non grata. And that is how you saw that for the past 4 or 5 years, examination malpractices, especially at both the basic and senior high schools, went to a point that you knew what was going on. And this is not what we are. We are training our kids to be corrupt when they have not even gotten to any stage that they should be thinking about corruption. And they are not learning. They are not prepared to learn because they know that of our own and of our examination malpractice, and the parents will support it. And if others are doing it, if we don't do it, we'll be lagging behind. So, nipa nyina dane aboa, eso also dane aboa ni bianyasa, omo dane aboa mbeche wa eden awe. This is what is happening, and that is a fact. Behind the scenes, we all talk about it. We are not happy about it. But why not bet makasa in a second?
The PTA union say they had no hand in the decision to remove teachers from the association has proven of dire consequence to the running of senior high schools. In some schools, PTAs were not allowed to hold meetings in the school premises.
It contributed a lot to indiscipline in the schools. It created some monster and some fears in the schools. It increased the culture of silence in the schools. Anything that happens, you don't get the teachers actually telling you the picture. It's gossip in officialdom. And when you validate the gossips, you get to know that what they are saying is the truth. But like an official PTA platform where, excuse my language, whatever happens in the school, there's official channels of communication. You go to your PTA meetings where they need to come and re-echo certain things for the parents to actually appreciate the dynamics. They come and contribute for all of us to take good decisions that will inure to the benefit of our walls and for the future generation of this country. Those platforms were collapsed. And it became like it was even a crime for a teacher to attend a PTA meeting.
The challenges that have bedeviled the free senior high school program have been dire. A letter from the Council of Heads of Assisted Schools, CHAS, in November 2024 blew the lid off the murky free SHS story. These images were captured in a Joy News investigation in 2023 at the Chiripone Senior High Technical School. This is supposed to be tuozafi, a major northern Ghanaian food staple. The students complained of being served with food like this with no fish at all.
Years ago, to come to PRESEC, you must meet a certain minimum standard. Especially those days when the school will have to go and do selection of those who come in. Even when the computer system started, it was done according to ranking, and you must merit to be in PRESEC. But the new system has something more than that. Today you come to PRESEC and you have students with some result that otherwise wouldn't have qualified them to be here.
The challenges with senior high school education impact different schools differently. This is the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, PRESEC, one of Ghana's leading schools. Here, the student population has jumped from under 2,000 in 2017 to over 5,000 by the latest admission cycle in 2024. Despite the huge support it continues to receive from its generous Old Students Association, the school's infrastructure is far outstripped by its current numbers.
Well, the point is that when numbers are more than facilities, there's congestion. So congestion also has its own implications when it comes to teaching and learning. But for now, in PRESEC, because we have 2-year groups here, in terms of classroom, every student has a class. For that, every student has a class. Sometimes because you may not get as many teachers at a particular time, some classes may have more number than you would have maintained if you had all the teachers at the same time. So there's some little congestion in the classrooms. The dormitories same, because the capacity of dormitories at any point in time, even though we have 2-year groups in school, you have about 3,000 plus who are in the boarding house. But the school's boarding capacity is about 2,600. In terms of our normal capacity now, it's about 2,600. But at any point in time, you have about 3,000 students in the boarding house.
Achimota School, also one of Ghana's very best. This school, like Presec, has largely been kept afloat by its resourceful and supportive alumni.
Those days, students were getting 8 A's. Maybe you get about 20 students making 8 A's. The 20 students are making the 8 A's. But if you look at the population now, it should have been more than the 28 A's. So if we are looking at it in terms of the nominal terms, there's nothing much. But if we are looking at it per the increase in population, they'll say that it's going down gradually.
It's 8 years since the introduction of the program. Despite improvement in academic achievement of products under the program, opinions are still sharply divided on its future.
For secondary education, the free senior high school actually has done as good. But if opportunity is given for the expansion on infrastructure, the expansion classroom block, dormitories block, and whatever, I think we will have a very good story to tell.
You say free, equity, everybody, right? So why do you make some students, day students, where their parents pay their transport money every day, morning, they give them money to come to school. You give them one hot meal. It means you have to feed them in the morning and in the evening when they come home. Give them money for transport, and sometimes give them some snacks, right? And you put other people in school and you give them everything free. In the evening when they go home and they want to learn, some people are sitting under free electricity learning, and as their parents are paying the bill. Where is the equity?
The way we were financing the policy, you see that we are paying for everybody, which means that if I am from a good family, I am being supported by the policy. If she is from a poor family, she is also being supported by the family, by the policy. But what the difference is that if you are giving me 1,000 and you are giving her 1,000, at the end of the day, my family will be able to support me more. So what you end up doing is that you are widening the gap of inequality.
With a new government in charge and several calls for a new direction for Ghana's education, nearly everyone would be wondering, what next for free SHS? Where do we go from here?